Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. This article comes to you guys from the Business Wire. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys could check it out. So now that the Uncarrier announcement has been made, we got all the details yesterday. Srini, the new CEO, did a press run shortly after. He was on CNBC, Bloomberg. I think I saw Yahoo Finance. He had several interviews. And one thing, now that we can recap, now that it's kind of settled in, like I've said before, this isn't really an Uncarrier move in that sense. It's not going to shake the industry or catch the industry but by storm. But what I will say, what I hope the new CEO does not get blindsided. And what I mean by that, and I'm sticking to it, I'm telling you guys right now, just looking at the behaviors of Verizon and AT&T, competitively, 2026 is going to look very different. And I know right now you model your future guidance as it pertains to T-Mobile. As they look into 26 and into 27, they model everything with how the competition is today. How competitive is it? If T-Mobile is asked publicly, which they are several times a year, it's a very competitive market. That's their response. But they still, to this day, T-Mobile has not been really challenged in any way, shape, or form, in my opinion. It's a promotional battle here and there, but there has not been one carrier today that has really challenged T-Mobile. Not one. And if you look at the behaviors of Verizon and AT&T, if you look at AT&T now, they bash T-Mobile every chance they get. If it's in a blog post, they put T-Mobile in there. I just saw earlier today they're targeting some advertisements in Vegas saying that if you are, this is where the Formula One race is happening, where T-Mobile is the sponsor. AT&T is saying if you're not on our network, the best, fastest, most reliable per first half 25 root metrics testing, you're going to get a yellow flag. Pretty much saying if you're not on our network, what are you doing? That's AT&T right now. They're targeting T-Mobile at every chance they get. Verizon is currently restructuring the whole company, making wholesale change, cutting positions. Probably going to end up asking each department inside the company to make cuts in regards to spending and to spend less. Very aggressive what Verizon is doing. So that's all leading up to a most competitive year in wireless probably ever. We're talking about, and again, I'm speculating, but we're talking about Verizon and AT&T dropping new plans, doing stuff completely off the wall, crazy, innovative perhaps. Verizon might even drop price. The promotional activity could possibly be increased. I mean, we could see something completely out of left field from these two because now they really want to challenge T-Mobile. And I tend to agree because if you're not being challenged to that extent, then you just get moves like what you see on screen. Being able to transform the switching experience didn't require an Uncarrier event. And I think T-Mobile understands that very well. But T-Mobile uses their marketing to their advantage. And this was another marketing event. It got people excited. I guarantee you there's millions and millions and millions of impressions across social media feeds of this event just because it was an Uncarrier event. For the most part, many say it was underwhelming, the announcement at least. But if you really look into it, you can switch to MVNOs today. You can switch to Mobile X through the app. You can switch to Visible through the app, and they make it a painless experience. In fact, the longest part of the transaction is waiting for the carrier to release your numbers. That's probably what Visible and Mobile X deal with the most. at least from a timing perspective. Other than that, it's painless. But what I will say in regards to Verizon and AT&T, the switching is still it still takes quite a long time to switch with those two. But I just don't see the overall transaction being able to be done in 15 minutes. I just don't see it. Yes, the number, the service being turned on and stuff can be done, but not in 15 minutes. You still have to sit there. Your number has to be transferred. That can probably be done in a timely manner. But all your data, your pictures, photos, that's still going to take 30, 45 minutes up to an hour. And then if you want a screen protector to be applied, and so that overall total experience is not going to be able to be done in 15 minutes. No matter how you twist, turn, and flip it, it's just not going to happen. The only way that I could see it happen inside of 15 minutes or sooner is if you're a BYOD customer. You bring your own device, it's already paid off at the carrier you're with. I could see that being a thing where you don't have to transfer any data or nothing. It's just number switch, get the app, right? The T-Life app, download it on your device, and you should be out the door 5, 10, 15 minutes at most, in and out. That I can see if it's a BYOD. But if it's an entire new account and getting all new devices and tablets, and no way that it's done in 15 minutes. So I get the bigger picture here, what T-Mobile is trying to do, and what they did do, right? A lot of marketing behind it. Again, Verizon and AT&T offer similar in certain markets in terms of same day delivery. If it's a big deal, I don't see it being a big deal in regards to people porting out specifically for this. I guess Verizon and AT&T would have to come up with something to match what T-Mobile's doing with DoorDash. But I just don't see that being a big enough deal to where Verizon and AT&T do a thing with, Uber Eats or something like that they now deliver devices. I just don't see it. This feels like T-Mobile doing another what Sprint did with direct to you. For those of you who remember that, where they had little yellow cars, that was Sprint, where they had little yellow cars driving around, going to your house, bringing you the device, setting it up for you, trying to create that convenience factor. And that ended up backfiring because you had to pay someone to go to the house. Then the cars needed, wear and tear, oil change and stuff. So that was just an additional expense. And Sprint ended up killing that program. So I don't know how long this is even going to be a thing. It's a thing right now because it's new, it's fresh, it's talked about for a little bit. But I think eventually it'll just fade off into the background and we won't even hear anything about it anymore, in my opinion. Except maybe for the new customers that are joining T-Mobile, which as of Q3, there was 1 million customers that switched. So for those customers might be a big deal. But outside of that, I don't think it's much of a big deal. But like I said at the beginning, I just hope the new CEO, Srini, doesn't get blindsided by the newfound competition that's due to come in 2026. And if they're being a bit more innovative and they do something just a bit more challenging to T-Mobile, how will T-Mobile respond to that if they're finally caught off guard? But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.